Welcome, sir.
Yeah,
Welcome. So nice to finally have you here, sir.
it's a privilege to be here, sir.
All right. Welcome to the Vision Podcast. So, first of all, sir, I don't know. Please, can you introduce yourself, sir?
All
Thank you,
right,
sir.
all right. My name is Fabian Gorge, and I am presently building two unicorns, Escort Realty and Cuddle Realty. Every of my life, since I entered into the entrepreneurial space, I've been helping people generational wealth using real estate as a tool.
Wow, that's that's really great, sir. So, can I can I ask a question in that line, sir? Okay, talking about estate and condo. Can I really ask what you do specifically in those companies actually?
Okay, so Escort Realty is a traditional real estate company, but Cuddle is a tech company that solves a real estate problem.
Wow.
So basically, what we do at Cuddle is that we saw a problem, while we were doing traditional real estate engagement, we discovered that the game of real estate has been for a particular few people who are the wealthy, the rich. So many people believe that before you can buy a property, you have to have millions of naira, right? And there are some people who genuinely want to own a property, sincerely. It's in their desire to own a property, but the market has not been fair to them. The market has dealt with their emotions because of the finances. So what we are doing is that we are breaking the barrier, we are breaking the rules at Kodo to make sure that people get to own a property with as low as 20,000 naira through the power of co-ownership.
Wow. 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 I think I can actually testify to the fact that um, people have been, should I say, their emotions have been dealt with over time, and I think uh, like I said, I can testify to it because I've been on that particular, what's it called, issue for a while also. Most
Mm,
of us want to invest in real estate, and there are some things that just scare you off. But
mm.
for a while, I've been hearing Kodu there, Kodu here, Kodu there. It's just an encouragement that, like I've been seeing all around. It's a future of building wealth for the 99%. Am I correct about that,
Exactly.
sir?
Yeah, exactly. Future of wealth
Yes,
building for 99%.
yes, sir. So everybody can call themselves. Okay, I also have a property somewhere. And
Exactly.
it will not sound like, really, yes, I own a property in Ekpe. You're
Exactly.
like, wow. So it doesn't
Exactly.
matter the portion. I shall have property
So
somewhere.
everybody deserves the bragging rights, and that's what we are giving them.
Yes, wow. You've bridged the gap. You've given
Exactly.
people reasons to be happy and to even do more, because I
Exactly.
feel I feel it's a starting point. Who can do
Exactly.
that? They can actually do something else. So amazing one. Thank you so much, guy. Okay,
You're welcome,
coming
sir.
from that direction, um, I want you to define vision in the light of that which you've done um, in your career path, basically. So there is a definition that everybody gives to vision, which I know is specific to their experience. When you are journeying through life, there's an experience that gives you definition for different things. So can you define vision um, uh, from your own experience in your career path, sir?
All right. From my own experience in my career path, I think vision is the ability to create what you see, what you can imagine, the ability to create what you can imagine, right? If you look at the word vision, it originally came from the word visio, which means to see, right? If you look at the origin of that word, it was actually being used in France when people want to say, see you tomorrow, see you tomorrow. That's how the vision, that's how the word vision came from. That we will see you tomorrow. Maybe someone is living and say, oh, bro, we will see tomorrow. That's where the word vision came from. So, for someone to say that, we will see you tomorrow, there are two indicators. That means, first of all, there has to be the ability and there has to be the expectation. There has to be the ability that you can see someone, right? And there has to be an expectation that you will see the person tomorrow. So I would say that vision is the ability to create your expectation.
Wow. That's solid, sir. That's solid, sir. Vision is the ability to create your expectation.
Yeah, the expectation that you have imagined.
Considering your definition, you were talking about, you said vision is
ability to create the expectation that you have imagined.
Yes, you said in your initial expectation, you said vision is the ability to create the expectation that you've imagined. So I was like, so definitely the ingredient associated with vision. That means that when a man have a vision, a lot of things have gone into it, like the power of imagination. I've already imagined something. So vision is not just vague, it's not abstract. There's an imagination that has birthed that vision. So can you please talk about how to develop imagination? So that means when I'm sitting down now, before I get a vision created, before I start creating a vision, before I raise a vision and I want to start running with it, how do I create imaginations around it? How do I imagine something? How do I set it forth? How do I set it as something I want to achieve before I can call it a vision?
First of all, if someone is looking at building their imaginative power, you cannot imagine what you don't believe is possible, right? So there has to be a level of an exposure of some possibilities, right? So how do you get those exposures? You can get those exposures by reading, right? Because there is a way knowledge helps you increase your imaginative power, right? There's a way knowledge puts you on edge. One of the things I've always told people is that you need to empty your pulse into your brain, because it takes what is in your head to forge ahead. Takes what is in your head to forge ahead in life. There's a particular quote of Benson that also I read that made me fall in love with reading. He said, without a big brain is a big load to the neck. A big head without a big brain is a big load to the neck. Life is not about dressing competition, actually. So if you are not loaded, you are not needed. And I'm not talking about your cupboard. I'm talking about mental weaponry, because those are the things that you can use to actually shape your imaginative bank, and exposure to some possibilities. Yes. So that's it.
Wow. That's profound, sir. That's profound, sir. So while you were talking, I just thought to ask that, how did your real estate journey, how did it started? I believe something that is actually a vision, but it started from somewhere. So you started creating solutions, and I'm telling you, currently you don't know how many people you are putting smiles on their faces. You don't know how many people that you are you've given them the kind of dream that they want to that they've been waiting for years. So how did you start? Everybody just want to start on the same plane. I think we're still going to talk about that, because I believe there's a general phase to everybody's vision, and over time you start entering into your niche. And what I mean by that, your own uniqueness start coming out of it. So even though you are doing the general thing and it looks like, okay, everybody's into real estate, over time start streamlining into your uniqueness, and everyone is like, it's real estate, or it is real estate in another dimension. So I believe everything has already been mapped out from scratch, even though it looks like, okay, we are all going the same direction. But like I said, over time it starts streamlining into my niche and into my own uniqueness, so that people can see that this is actually the different strategy and the different approach generally to the real estate industry. So first of all, what got you started? How did you start sharing this kind of solution to the world? How did everything start all along, sir?
So I started my way in 2019 when one of the persons I respect in the industry who gave me the opportunity, that's in the name of Lukman Shibawale. So Lukman Shibawale, popularly known as LSD or Eminent, finished from my department in school, history. I never had the opportunity to meet him. That's the irony. He finished in 2017. I came in 2017 as a direct entry. So I came in 2011. He was leaving. So I never had the opportunity to actually really met him in school. But then I knew that this guy has something I need. I followed him online. I saw what this guy possessed. So I went all out after him. And while we were talking, he was always saying that, Fabian, myself, I'm a friend of mine, you should come and sell real estate. You should come and sell real estate. He was always saying that. And coincidentally, a lot of students are actually facing ASU strike now. So it was during that exact same time I started real estate, right? And I came on board with him. We started working together. When I started this company, we were like I was like a founding employee at this company, and from there, we learned hard-on lessons. Working directly with him as a sales executive, and from there we discovered some of the problems that I mentioned earlier, and that was how we started, right? So I would say that when I was starting, let's say, I never knew how God was going to play it out, and which is why I tell people that if you don't know what you're supposed to do what your hand finds to do. What your hand finds to do will connect you with what your heart wants to do, right? So if you don't know what to do, Baba, do what your hand finds to do, and make sure that it is legit. I'm not talking about doing Yahoo or all those other illegitimate means of making money, right? Finds to do, it will connect you with what your heart needs to do. So when I started, I never knew. And now that's been a very, very enjoyable experience. Another thing that is very significant is the role of mentorship, right? I didn't just go in out in the game. I learned from the best, right? It's okay to say that if you don't consult before you confront, you'll be confounded. Right?
Wow.
If you don't consult before you confront, you'll be confounded. So learning from the mentors, Lukman Shibawale and Bayo Lawal, it shapes my experience. And when we were launching out, it became actually wonderful experience, because we have seen how what works, and what doesn't work. So it actually gave us a form of an edge to actually build what we are currently building now at Cuddle and Escort. Yeah.
Wow, thank you, sir, for that response. Thank you so much. I got one particular point which I would love you to expand on. from your response now. You mentioned something about mentorship. So one of the abused word, even in career generally, is mentorship. So most people feel like mentorship is more like a slave trade. So they feel like, okay, when someone is beginning at something, okay, because you don't want to pay me, so you bring me as a mentee, you say you want to train me one or two ways, and you start extorting me and all that. But even me, I feel like mentorship actually is one pathway of climbing high and gaining experience. I mean, mentorship. Like most people just want to come outside there, they just want to do something, and you don't know that somebody has been in the industry doing that thing for close to for sometimes even a decade, sometimes not up to that, but they've been doing well, and all you can do is submit. And in your process of submission, it will look like you are serving, but at the same time, it is a pathway for you to learn. So I don't know, is mentorship actually one of the most important things that one has to embrace in their career path, in fulfilling their vision, or there is a vision that does not entails the concept of mentorship, sir?
All right. So this is my own belief. There's nothing that you want to do or that you are doing now that someone has not done.
Yes,
Right?
that's true.
It's just so wise that you learn from the experience of those people who have gone ahead before you, right? And you can get mentored by tapes, or books of those great men, and you can get mentored physically. When you work hand to hand, for instance, in my case, I was working as a sales executive with someone, and all of that. So some people might say mentorship is slavery, or you'll be serving and all of that. Well, I feel that the path to greatness has some tests that you will have to pass, and the first test is the test of humility. Right? Humility is part of the test, right? One of the mentorship will do to you is that it will make you humble, right? You will serve, and if you are too big to serve, you are too small to be great.
Yes, yes. I believe
So,
that. Yeah.
so mentorship, what mentorship does for you is that it saves you from a lot of torments, right? A lot of things that will actually affect a lot of things. That when we started our company, it was easy for us to start because we were part of the founding employees of the company that we served. It was easy. I mean, it cost us so much because we knew, how those people did it, how we were able to do that and got the same results. So I feel that mentorship is actually very, very critical. If anybody wants to actually go in that line, you need to actually submit, right? And learn from people, learn from books, learn from tapes. So that's my take on that.
Oh wow, thank you very much, sir. Okay, I have like two more questions before I open the floor for probably you have something to tell people. Okay, I want to ask this question. There's this thing about vision. They said, I've forgotten the way that quote is actually framed, but let me paraphrase. It says that vision is only real to you. Like what it means by what that is trying to say is that you are the only one that sees what you see. You understand? So if I sit Fabian Gorge down now, you might be saying some things that you've already said for the next 20 years, for the next 30 years. It's only coherent to you. To me, this thing is not because you are in your whole world and I'm the one listening to you. And it looks like there's an impossible. So there is this factor of impossibility that comes when we discuss our ideas, our dreams with people, and we have to be very careful so that they don't break it down into something that will later become uh, uh, nothing. I was with a mentor some days ago, and he was trying to encourage us on some certain things. Then he said something. He said when you talk to people about your vision, about your future, he said the more reason why they are to discourage you or pull you down is because they want you to come to their level. So it is more like you are going higher. So they want you to come to their level. So they pull you to you're on the same level with them. Then they'll start telling you that place you were going was actually higher than their mind, and they had to bring you down to this point, but it will be too late. So what brought me to that particular direction is that there's a word I know that most of the entrepreneurs that are going to do better in life, they journey through discouragement. So it is more like you are joining with faith, but in discouragement, because everything around you cannot 100% support you. So I want to ask, how easy was it for you to get here? What are the struggles that you can actually pick as a discouraging factor? And how did you just scale through those things? How did you neglect? How did you not get distracted with those words, with those actions, with those down situations? Because I know that it will have been what's it called, 6 down 7 up for you. I want to be sure, because definitely several things wouldn't have worked out. Several things will have looked discouraging. Even people will have just advised you that will you just stay here and let's do this also together, don't go this other side, you're too fast, you're too, why are you like this and all that. So those discouraging factors, how you just break out of those stuffs and continue doing what you're doing now?
Amazing. So, first of all, I would like to say that there's nothing called impossible. Possibility is the struggle of man to find a meaning for what has not happened, right? What do I mean by that? Meaning, impossibility is like a vacuum that people are trying to, tie a meaning around. Okay, this particular thing has not happened. That's impossibility. So the word impossibility itself does not mean cannot happen.
So you can you say it again, sir? It got caught.
Okay, I said impossibility. There's something like impossibility.
Yes,
Impossibility is a vacuum, right? It's a vacuum. So it is the struggle of men to find a meaning around what has not happened. So anything that has not happened, people say that it is impossible. Not because that it cannot happen, but because it has not happened.
Yes,
so the word impossibility, it does not answer to the question of possibility. It answers occurrence. It has not occurred, not that it is not possible. So that's, I think I just need to actually emphasize that aspect. And the second thing is that, of course, there will be a lot of barriers along the way. When God was telling Joshua that I've given you the land, I'm giving you now, go and possess it. I mean, the Canaan land that God gave the people of Israel was not vacant.
Yes, sir.
It was never vacant. So when God told Abraham, He said, "As far as your eyes can see, I will give you and your inheritance." God gave Abraham a possibility of an expectation that will happen, but God never showed Abraham the way. There was a book I was looking to write. God's count me. When God is giving you the vision of your life or the purpose of your life, show you something that everybody is saying that I see myself in the midst of white people singing, in the midst of crowd. I see myself traveling to nations of the world and all of that. God always kind of shows an encouragement that this thing is possible. God will not show you what you will go through to actually achieve that. So you see Joseph saying, God has said, yeah, my 11 people will bow for me, and my sheep will be the head. And all that. God is not telling that he will be thrown inside a pit. God never
Yes.
showed him that he will be thrown inside prison. In all of those stuff. So I feel that be rest assured. Jesus also said that in this world you will find tribulation, but be of good cheer. I will overcome. You have to have an expectation that it's not going to be easy, right? That expectation first, right, is an helpful attitude. Whatever comes your way, God never promised us a safe journey. He only promised us a safe landing, right? So let me talk about my own experience, right? When I started selling real estate for 7 months, I did not sell jack. 7 good months, I was struggling. I did not sell jack in real estate.
Wow.
After my 7th month, my first sale was 1 acre deed. At that particular point, I was the first person to sell a 1 acre deed in my company as a sales executive.
Wow.
And that got me about 1.2 million naira worth of commission. Right? For 7 months. I waited 7 months. I was showing up every day. 7 months. I was discouraged. If that close his sale in just 1 month, his first sale, I was discouraged. I lost my self-esteem. But I kept on going. Now, one of the things that actually helped me, vision. Someone said, vision is like sitting on a needle. It should make you jump off for an action. It's like sitting on a needle. So anytime I'm tired and I look at, I see myself, helping people. I see myself, creating work for people. I wake up. So your vision must be big enough to pitch you. Your vision must be big enough to make you wake up for an action. One of the ways that can happen is that you have to turn around a greater cause that is greater than you. Right? I know that if I don't make it in life, my parents will not enjoy. I know that if I don't make it in life, my siblings will suffer. I know that if I don't make it in life, the kingdom of God within my area of domain, they will suffer. So I have tied my vision around a greater good. So every time I'm working, it doesn't seem like it's going to work. I'm seeing all those things that are bigger than me. They are bigger than me. So I can't lose out. I can't be out for a while. I can't be too discouraged. I will have to find my way back in the game because my vision is actually bigger than me. When a lion is chasing you and when a chicken is chasing you, the way you run will be different. Right? The determinant of your pace and drive in life is by what is chasing you. I know those things that are chasing me. I mean, I don't want to be broke. I have known what it is to be poor. I don't want to be broke. Wow. There's a saying that I love so much that you need to a rich home. You need to castrate poverty before it gives birth to its kind.
Wow.
I was not born into a rich home. I know that if I don't raise up my game, there's no how I can castrate poverty. If not, I will give birth into a poor home. My children will be experiencing the same struggles I actually experienced. I never wanted that to happen. So you have to tie your vision around a greater good. Another thing that is very, very important is that you have to find a word. I'm a believer, right? I believe that you have to find a word, a scripture to tie around your vision. You have to get a word from God. That's important. When you get a word from God, you know that this thing that you are doing is going to be successful. You are sure, because a word from God means that God will never say something and does not bring it to pass. There's a scripture that says, Isaiah 34:16, the Spirit of the Lord has commanded it. The mouth of the Lord has commanded it. His Spirit will gather it. So when God says a word, be rest assured that's going to come. Those words, as you are warring with those prophecies that God, you have said you will give us real estate like dust. You said it. So those words also are actually encouraging. The third thing is that you need the right company. You need the right company. Through that journey of doubt, discouragement, you need the right company that will encourage you. I mean, my friend Johnny Gunosa will say that there's a protocol around success that only permits its kind of people as. There's a protocol around success that only permits its kind of people as friends. I would love to say that there's also a protocol around failure that only permits its kind of people as friends. So the question is, who are your friends? Number one. Number two, what are they doing to you? Number three, is it good? Who are your friends? What are they doing to you? Number three, is it good? Because God commanded us, say love everyone. So love is a commandment, but friendship is a choice.
Yes, sir.
So all of those three things will actually help you in face of uncertainties.
Oh wow, that's really great. Sincerely, that is really great. That's great, sir. That's great, sir. Thank you so much. Like I said, you actually broke into one of my questions while you were talking, and that is an association. That's partnership, friendship, those you journey with. I believe a vision can be preserved by association, and a vision can also by association. So can you just expand more on that association you were talking about, that partnership with like-minded people, those that can help you? Can you talk about it? How is it important to vision? How is association important to vision, sir?
A vision that you can achieve alone is not a vision. It is an ambition. That one is not a vision. Every vision that you need, God has created a system of interconnectedness. That is, you need people. My mentor, Dr. Bonking, will say that if you want results for 3 months, plant corn. If you want results for 1 year, plant yam. But if you want results for lifetime, plant men. Right? Men are important aspects of fulfilling a vision. And one of the things I tell people that this one God actually told me specifically, he said the next generation of titans industry will rise on the wings of collaboration, partnership, right? So because we live in a world whereby people are so driven by I'm the CEO, I'm the MD, I'm the director, and they don't want to probably give other people, the privilege to partner together, to collaborate together. We need to begin to change the narrative. Partnership, collaborations are the tools the next generation of titans is going to rise in the next phase, right? So when it also comes to partnership, one has to be very, very wise, right? So that you don't, the person that you're partnering with has to agree with your values. So there has to be a value correspondence, right? Value has to be correspond. They also have to be like some sort of like-mindedness. Like this guy, is actually achieving. He sees what I want to achieve, right? And is ready, willing to actually help me achieve it. There also have to be some form of compliments, right? I was good. I'm like the talking type. John is like is the strategy type. He does strategy. What can we do and all of that. Me, I'm the shouting side. I'm like the online. Let's talk. Let's do marketing. Let's do all of that. But John, strategy. What can we do that can make this company achieve $1 billion valuation? John, right? What can we do that can get to 1,000 people? Fabian, right? So there has to be a compliment or an exchange where this guy cannot touch this guy. That's why the Bible says, one shall chase 1,000, two shall chase, right? So we can see that, right, happening in that way. And again, look at the association. Association is very, very important, right? No man can live, you know, out of, no man can live in isolation, right? God has actually created a kind of a community. Even God, when he wanted to do something, and that was how we came about the word cuddle. Because we notice that in the book of Genesis chapter 1, everything God did that was strategic and remarkable came as a result of three different forces coming together, three in one, right? So we see God, the Son, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit coming together. There was a lot of let us. So we came through that tree. Let us cuddle, come together, do things. So and that was where the inspiration of the name of God came. Come, let us, because we know that there's nothing extraordinary that you can do alone in this life. There's no great thing that is done by isolation. I mean, by one individual. There has to be a form of a collaboration. If you are getting results and you are the only one in the company, trust me, if you synergize with people, you can get times 2 of that result. Wow. I think that's all I have to say on
wow. Thank you so much. That's really great. Okay, before we end this session of the podcast, I believe you have a strong word to just share to young people. Some of us are at a crossroads. We probably don't know what to do currently with our life presently. It's not that we don't know what to do, but stepping out is a challenge to most of us. That thought of failure. Okay, if I do this, what will happen? What will go wrong? And all that. And some of us, all we just need is an encouragement, a motivation to step out. And that is why we have someone like you here, that, okay, someone built from scratch, someone built through how everything is. While every other person is complaining, somebody is advancing so forcefully like this. So can you just say something to everyone that is just trying to do something exceptional like yourself, sir, outside
all
there?
Right. All right. The first thing first is that you need God. You need God. You can never do anything outside God. God, life is spiritual, right? So if you want to break through in life, right, you either belong to a secret court or you belong to a secret place. There is no middle ground, right? So life is spiritual. You have to treat it as such. So you need God. Number 2, you need a vision, right? You need a vision for your life. And I know that you might not find their way around that vision. So which is why I said that you need to do what your hand finds to do before it connects to what your heart needs to do. So what is your hand finding to do now, right? Learn, right? Learn all of those stuff. Put in hard work, right? Put in hard work, right? It takes hard work to avoid hard life. It takes hard work to avoid high life. Study. Get education. I'm not talking about academics, right? Get education. Kunle Sorinyo will say that education is the ability of a man to study his environment well enough to identify the options that exist in it and to discover which options to pick as a matter of supreme urgency. I will come again. He said education is the ability of the spirit of a man to study his environment well enough to discover the options that exist in that environment and to discover which options to pick as an importance. This even means that for you to actually navigate and sit in the energy of times, you need to understand what is obtainable in that present environment. There were some career options that were possible 10 years ago that you can't think of now because they are not relevant in the present reality of times. So you have to study in the environment. What are the things that are available? I mean, legitimate things, right? The thought is, don't do Yahoo. There's nothing Yahoo will give you. There's still dignity in labor. There's no successful Yahoo that I know or that you know that did not get there without some form of spiritual force. And of course, angels, Spirit of God does not allow Yahoo. So don't be deceived. Do not be deceived. There's still dignity in legit labor. Read, study, Pay attention to what is happening, pay attention to people, pay attention to mentorship. And again, never be afraid. There's no need to being afraid. Every master was once a disaster. Every master was once a disaster. Every master was once a disaster. You need to start, right? You don't have to get everything figured out. It's just like the four lepers. The four lepers, they were hungry, they were segregated, but they needed food, and they broke into the camp of the enemy. But God has actually already gone ahead of them. They thought they were going to die. They thought they were going to die when they entered the camp, but God had gone ahead of them, created a sound that made the enemy run away and left their spoils, their food. And by the time they got there, they discovered that no one there was an abundance of food. But they wouldn't have discovered the abundance of food if they had remained where they were. So sometimes all you need to do is to start, because you will not discover what God has done for you if you actually don't start. We didn't have everything figured out when we started. We didn't have an office space. We didn't have a CSA company. We didn't have a bank account when we started. We got a bank account from one of our friends that uses a current account. I mean, of course, you were aware. You saw it was Gold. It was not Escort Realty. It was not called the Realty. It was Gold when we started. We started using Gold Digits. Gold Digits when we started. That was not our bank account, but we started using it. We thought people would not accept it, but guess what? We made millions of money from that account. People paid. We thought people will not pay, will not buy because you don't have an office space. But people did that. So sometimes you don't know what God, we don't know what is possible if we don't actually take the bold step. See, the greatest risk in life is not to take a risk, right? There's nothing, if you're not, why are we on earth if you cannot do big things, if you cannot dare things? Dare. Everybody in the Bible that perished are perished, never perished. Everybody in the Bible. They say, if I perish, all of them never perished. Because what? There's a lot of discoveries you can get when you take bold action. Thank you so much. My name is Fabian Gorge, and such an honor to be here with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We are so glad to have you. Sincerely, from my heart, I'm saying thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing those deep secrets. Thank you for coming. Thank you for honoring us. Thank you for encouraging the world. Thank you for motivating us to do more. God bless you so much, sir. I'm really grateful for having you on the show. God bless you, sir. And I'm hoping to see you another time I call on you, sir.
All right, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much for all that you are doing. Also, you're shaping the mindset use with your platform, bringing top leaders to come and share their experience. You're doing a great work. You're doing a great work. You never knew the kind of reach that this message that you're doing will actually get to. I appreciate all that you're doing. I celebrate all that you're doing, and I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
All right. So
yes,
I can end now.
Yes, sir.